I'm Ebong.
And I'm Kate, and today we are dishing with you from The Reserve, located at 1426 L Street Northwest. This place is so new, there's not even a sign on the door yet. Officially opening October 8th.
And our guest here today with us is Tim Ouyang, who is part of Tim Be Told, which is a wonderful group. And tell us about the type of music that you guys do.
So we're kind of, I would say, like a blend of rock and pop, a little bit of indie, alternative with some soul. So it's kind of a whole bunch of things all jammed
like
in
there.
Like
a smorgasbord of great music. That's great to hear.
Pretty eclectic.
I actually heard about you all before I was officially introduced to your group.
Oh, really?
Because you had a major fan at this bar, and we were talking about our favorite groups, and this girl who I can't remember who it was like, oh my gosh, you have to hear about Tim Be Told. Google Tim Be Told. So I Googled Tim Be Told, and you're playing the piano, I think, or the keyboard, and you all, this, I gotta say, and I hope you're not offended by this, what you see and what you hear, you're like, wow, that's coming out of them? Because I almost thought you guys were lip syncing. It is incredible.
Thank you very much.
Incredible. So your concerts must be really interesting, and you guys just finished concerts in New York, am I right?
Yeah, we actually just played a few club dates in New York. We also played in Philly and also in the Northern Virginia area as well. So, and we just finished that up yesterday, so we're back here now.
So you just got here.
So yeah, I just got here. Actually, I was down in Charlottesville and drove back up again.
Oh,
so
that's brilliant. That's brilliant. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together as a full band for probably about 2 years now.
Okay.
So, but we started out kind of like a trio, and I was actually I was studying architecture at the University of Virginia, and then what happened was I kind of got bored of it, and I realized that that's not what I wanted to do. So I actually had a mutual friend who introduced me to the lead guitarist, who was actually living in California at the time, and then he actually flew over from California to be in the band. So it was a complete random act of faith, and so then after that, the other guys joined up, and so we've been operating as a quintet for about 2 years now.
Okay.
So. Tell me about your music background, because you're using very kind of classical terms for rock and soul. So what kind of education do you have in terms of music?
I grew up playing classical piano. I played classical piano for about 10 years, studied that, and then after that, I stopped doing that, started writing my own stuff, doing more improv, and I actually studied some jazz as well. So
do you write all of your own songs, or is it a collaborative effort? Do you buy them from a songwriter? Where do they come from?
Well, actually, the music, it's actually changed over the course of the time that the band has been together. I actually started out writing the songs as a solo artist. So I had a whole bunch of songs that I had written in high school and in college. And so those were kind of the songs that we started out with the band. And then it's interesting, the guys in the band have all come from really different backgrounds musically, and a lot of them are really self-taught and have different styles of playing. So when I started playing with them, they actually started changing my style of writing. I started writing less as a solo artist, but more for the band setting. And so if you listen to our first album and then you listen to the newer stuff, you see kind of an evolution of the sound. It's got the older stuff is a little more alternative, and the newer stuff has got a lot more rock. It's got a lot more meat in it.
My favorite song on the first album was a song called Ordinary, and I think it speaks to everybody. I don't know if you guys have heard this one, but where did you the idea for this? Does it come from a personal experience that you've had, or where did that come from?
Well, I think it's funny because the reason I wrote that song originally was because I think there's a lot of pressure just to be successful and to always climb the social ladder, to be on top, and then I was finding myself getting caught up in that, and feeling like why is it so important for me to kind of make it. And I wrote that song as a way to be like, it's okay, I'm ordinary, even if I never make it, it's all right. But the funny thing is,
you're not ordinary.
The funny thing is, a lot of people identify with that song because they do kind of feel like they have to try to be something, phenomenal, and and it's okay not to, be all over, magazine covers or whatever. It's okay to be yourself, and that's kind of the meat of the song. That's kind of the soul of the song, is to say that be yourself. It's okay to be yourself. You don't have to be special or in
And
the
you can
limelight.
liken that to what you're talking about, where you were in like an architectural major, and all of a sudden you gave that up because that's not something you really want to do. And that's the minute I heard Kate mention that about the song, that automatically came to my mind. 'Cause I think a lot of people go through that. I think that's another reason why a lot of people can actually, relate to the song, because they're thinking, what am I striving for? It's okay to strive for something. In your case, like for example now,
Right.
but you're striving for something that you actually have that's in your heart.
And your newest project, tell us a little bit about this one. The newest project is From the Inside.
Yes, this is actually our new EP, and we've been working on it for about a year now, and it's finally out. It came out about a month ago, and we're really excited about it because we worked with some really great people, and the songs are all just, there's so many different styles on it. It's just kind of it embodies kind of the eclectic style that we have as a band. So
So you're going to take this on tour around DC, right? Where's the next place you're going to play?
We're actually playing close to DC in Vienna. It's a place called Jam and Java. So
Okay.
a lot of famous people have played there. So
I know
Yeah.
you just said that your song "Ordinary" was, don't try to be other people, but who do you aspire to be with your band? Do you have like a band, like, oh, if we do this, we've really made it, just internally? Share it with us.
it's funny that you mentioned that because we actually have very few specific goals. Because when we started out, we had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, if you look at mainstream music right now, you don't see many Asian American faces. And that's kind of that's just
One
a
reason
fact.
why I was so surprised when I watched the YouTube video, I was like, wow.
And so, and it's funny because when we first started out, we would go to these venues and be like, "Can we play here?" And people would be like, "What are you talking about?" And so we had so many doors closed in our faces just from first impressions, just by the way that we look. And so it's been kind of like this uphill climb and this kind of building of the grassroots. And now where we are right now is, there are a lot of people who identify with the music, a lot of people who relate with it. And, in the end, it's not about kind of those external appearances.
Yes.
People are going to relate to the heart of your music. And so that's kind of been the driving force behind what we're doing. And so now, whatever happens, we're just kind of going with the flow, and we're just working as hard as we can just to get as many people to listen, as many people to come out to our shows.
Well, it's the heart of the music, and it's you all have great big hearts too. You all are going to be doing a big philanthropic effort here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Starting really soon, we're going to be going on the Pick Up the Phone tour, and this is in association with Hope Line and To Write Love on Our Arms. And it's a suicide prevention tour that's actually going around to a whole bunch of different college campuses in the U.S. and kind of promoting these issues of mental health, depression, and a lot of these things are taboo, and people don't like to talk about these things, especially in the university setting, where suicide is actually the second leading killer. And so we're trying to just create more awareness through the music, inspiring people, and also just letting people know that these issues exist, not just for those people who are suffering through it, but for those people around them, their friends, their families, so that they understand the signs and the symptoms, and they can and help the people around them as well.
And hopefully the music speaks to them
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
It will speak to all of us. We can't wait to listen to this newest CD. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, thank you for being with us here on this episode of The District Dish.